Yesterday we have discussed. Yesterday we have discussed about two theorems: principle of parallel axis and perpendicular axis. In previous video lecture, you had seen how to prove the two theorems: principle of parallel axis and perpendicular axis, which were both important from both point of view. Okay. Now today we are going to see the new concept of angular momentum. Okay. Already we have learned linear momentum. What is momentum? First, let us understand what is momentum. Okay. Now, consider you are having one plastic ball in your hand and you are hitting that ball on the wall. What will happen? You are hitting the ball on the wall. When you hit the ball on the wall, does this ball will penetrate inside the wall? Will it move inside the wall? No. It will return back from the wall. Okay. Now, second example we will take. Consider you are having a gun in your hand and you are firing a bullet from the gun. So when you fire a bullet from the gun, the bullet will penetrate inside the wall. Bullet will penetrate inside the wall. Why this is so? Okay. Now let us analyze it. Okay. We have taken first example of ball, plastic ball, which is having very less weight. Okay. And we have thrown that ball. Okay. As compared to that of the bullet, the weight size of ball is bigger. Okay. And when I had thrown that ball, I had applied certain force. Okay. The ball has moved towards the wall with certain velocity, certain speed. Okay. Same case if you see in the bullet, when I fire the bullet is smaller in the size. Okay. And I fired the bullet, but that bullet has went very fast. The speed of the bullet as compared to that of ball is very fast. Okay, is much higher. Okay, so here we have to consider both the things. We have to consider both the things. What? First, we have to consider mass of that object and as well as speed of the object. And mass and speed combinedly give certain effect that is called as momentum. Okay, the momentum of the bullet was higher than that of the plastic ball. So the bullet penetrated inside the wall, whereas the ball returned back. Okay. Now second example we will take plastic ball and cork ball, season ball, which is heavy metal ball. Okay. Both are of same size. Only there is a difference in the mass. Okay, plastic ball is lighter and the metal ball or cork ball is heavier. I am hitting that with the same speed in both the cases. But when I hit the plastic ball on the wall will return without damaging the wall. Whereas when I hit the wall with the season ball or cork ball or metal ball, it damages the wall. Why here? Now here both are of the same size. Both I am throwing with the same speed. But here the metal ball or cork ball or season ball is having much higher mass as compared to that of the plastic. So it damages the wall. So here mass and velocity gives a combined effect called as a momentum, and as this motion was a linear motion, so we call this momentum as a linear momentum. Okay. Now we are learning rotational motion, so we are interested in angular momentum. Now what is angular momentum? Angular momentum is a vector product of linear momentum and the radius. Angular momentum is a vector product of linear momentum and radius. Okay. So let us find the formula for angular momentum. We have to derive the formula for angular momentum. So let us start with it. Okay. So consider a body having n number of particles situated at it at a distance R1, R2, Rn from axis of the rotation as shown in the figure. Okay, let m1, m2, mn be the masses of each particle and p1, p2, pn be its linear movement. Okay, so consider an object rotating with constant angular velocity omega. It is rotating with constant angular velocity omega. It consists of n number of particles, m1, m2, mn. These are n particles located on it, each having mass m1, m2, mn. Their masses respectively are m1, m2, mn. As particle is moving, so the velocity of each particle is given by, we know formula for velocity. What is velocity? V is equal to r omega. Now as distances are different, r1, r2, rn. So for each particle velocity is different. So we have to determine the velocity as we have did it in the first expression of finding kinetic energy of rotating body. So V1 equal to r1 omega, V2 equal to r2 omega. Similarly Vn equal to rn omega. Now we know that linear momentum is given by, what is linear momentum? Product of mass into velocity, as I stated earlier. Linear momentum is product of mass into velocity. So linear momentum of first particle, so P1 is equal to m1 v1, so that is nothing but m1 r1 omega. Why? Because v1 equal to r1 omega. Similarly P2 is equal to m2 p2, that is nothing but equal to m2 r2 omega. Similarly Pn is nothing but equal to mn Vn, that is nothing but mn Rn omega. So here we have derived the linear momentum. Now we have to derive the angular momentum. What is angular momentum? It is the vector product of linear momentum and radius vector. Okay. So angular momentum is a vector product of linear momentum and radius vector. So M is equal to m cross v. That is, as we know that cross product, when we have studied last year in the 11th standard, second chapter, vector, scalar product and vector product. So vector product of 2 is nothing but A cross B is nothing but AB sin theta. So same way M cross B is nothing but MB sin theta. But if we see here, okay, that angle between the momentum and the radius is nothing but 90 degree. We can see here. This is the radius and this is momentum. So it is 90 degree in each case. Okay, so I have taken theta equal to 90 degree, and what is value of sin 90? Sin 90 is 1. So what we get? L is equal to P into R. L is magnitude of L is product of linear momentum P and radius R. So similarly, linear momentum of first particle L1 is equal to P1 into R1, that is nothing but equal to. Now just we have to put the values of linear momentum and radius. So m1 r1 omega, that is, this is the value of linear momentum into r1. So if you multiply this, what we get? m1 r1 square omega. Similarly, of second particle P2R, that is nothing but equal to m2 r2 omega into r2, that is equal to m2 r2 square omega. Similarly, of nth particle we get mn rn omega into rn, that is nothing but mn rn square omega. Now we have derived the linear angular momentum of each individual particle. Now we have to obtain an angular momentum of total object. An object consists of n number of particles. So we have to add it. We have to sum all this angular momentum. So L is nothing but equal to L1 plus L2 plus dash Ln. So just put the value. What is value of L1? M1 R1 square omega. Value of L2? M2 R2 square omega. Similarly, value of Ln? Mn Rn square omega. Now, if you see here, in each term omega is common. So take outside, and M1 R1 square, M2 R2 square, Mn Rn square. This is remaining. And in place of that, as we have written in the first expression of kinetic energy, same way I had replaced it by this complete thing. I can write in the form of summation. Summation I is equal to 1 to n mi ri square. Okay, and omega is common. And this term in the bracket is nothing but moment of inertia, that is r. So L is equal to r omega. This is a proof of angular momentum of rotating body. Okay, note down.